the best Hog EQ deck inside of Clash Royale after the balance changes. Yo, what's going on guys, Ian77 here. In today's video we're going to be using the best Hog EQ deck in Clash Royale after the balance changes. Alright, so even though, as you guys probably saw, Archer Queen did get a nerf in the latest balance changes, but the only thing that happened to her was that she got like her movement speed decreased during the duration of her ability. But honestly, I'm pretty sure that nerf won't even do pretty much anything to nerf Archer Queen, because that's not really like what made her good, like her move speed or anything like that. Because whenever you use the Archer Queen's ability, it almost always is just standing still anyway. So I highly doubt that it'll actually affect anything. And I think that the Hog EQ deck with Firecracker is a bit better now compared to where it was before because of the slight changes, but I do still feel like Queen is a bit better, just because like Queen really gives you that easy opportunity to outplay those really defensive decks just by having like kind of an alternate win condition. And looks like we are facing Loon here, and Loon also actually got like a pretty big change to it. Like they made it so that its normal attack does like way less damage, but then its attack speed is quite a bit faster. So gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. But the nice thing is that like now when you're playing against a Loon deck, like if they have like say like a Lava Loon deck or something, and they go with like a balloon and then they like arrows your bomb tower, normally that would have like just instantly killed the bomb tower with like one balloon shot, but now that the balloon does less damage, it will take 2 shots. So even though the DPS is like pretty much the same, it's still gonna be like worse against buildings, for example, and it'll be like especially a lot worse against Tesla. So I don't think Loon is actually too good anymore. Alright, and yeah, I was kind of just blubbering on about the changes, but here in the first match we're doing really well so far. We are facing a Loon deck, Pekka Loon to be exact, and gonna be interesting. Really nice that we got our king activated really early against the E-Drag, and I know a lot of people just activate their king like when the E-Drag is already targeting their tower, but if you have like something in the middle like a bomb tower, for example, you can just play like a Archer Queen or like a Fire Spirit right in front of your king, and then you can easily activate your king tower. So always nice to look out for those king activations. And we're actually going to cycle a bomb tower early here because we have like very limited air defense with only like a queen as our real air targeting card, so we're going to have to probably cycle multiple bomb towers. And the reason I played it in the left lane first was that so if he went with a balloon push in the left lane, that it would just get pulled by that bomb tower, then I just have another one ready, or just like a queen or whatever else I need to counter his stuff. We probably will just have to keep stacking bomb towers because it's probably just going to be an onslaught of Pekkas at this point. And yeah, not going to be too hard to defend his balloon, just going to be a bit more difficult to defend his dragons. Yeah, so he's going to go with the dragon there, but I think the tower can target it. Yeah, so really good for us that we got like the perfect timing on the knight there and the fire spirit. So pretty good situation for us. Not really too worried about the balloon attacks anymore now that I have king activated. So if he doesn't have like a big loon push, there's no way he's really gonna break through. And just gonna keep stacking these bomb towers. We do just have to make sure to clean up his baby dragons well, especially. And we're gonna go with the earthquake here on the Pekka, even though I don't usually like to be that aggressive. It's kind of good here because it allows our queen to damage it down way more. So pretty good stuff. And I'm going to protect the bomb tower even though the tower isn't targeting the baby dragon, just so that the Loon hopefully will get pulled by it. Okay, Loon actually might get some damage here, but not the end of the world because we do have quite a big lead. Alright, and actually because of the balloon nerf, even though we got a big balloon hit there, actually didn't do nearly as much damage as it normally would have done, so you can already notice the Loon nerf. I don't know why this guy is playing Loon, even though it just got like a pretty big nerf, but I guess he's just testing it out. But yeah. He's gonna go with the freeze here, but should be pretty good defense with like the bomb tower death bombs and the fire spirit splash and all that. Unfortunately the E-Drag does target our queen, so looks like it is gonna die, but I'm not too worried. Whenever your queen dies, you can always just easily cycle back to another one in like 3 cards, so never too bad. And he is gonna try to go with the baby dragon plus balloon pushing trick, which kind of like can push the balloon out of building sight, or out of like the sight range of buildings or whatever, but not gonna happen here just because of the bomb tower being very thick, I guess. And yeah, gonna be GG here. Really clean win. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against Wallace, and he has been switching between a few decks recently, but I'm pretty sure he's playing probably RG. I know he does main RG, sometimes he plays like Hog and stuff like that as well, so could be a few things here. And actually guys, today ever since the balance changes, I've been facing like so much more RG, and it looks like it is going to be RG here with the Fisherman there. He's going to activate King Tower, but we do still get one hit. And I'm going to go with the Archer Queen at the bridge. You may think it's like a bit of a dumb play, but it almost always works against RG players. Like, you always force them to spend quite a bit, but he did have a pretty good ghost there, so he is going to defend the queen pretty well. And he is going to get his own queen, but I think our bomb tower might be able to splash it. Yeah, super good bomb tower there by us, because what that did is it forced him to use the queen ability really early, so it's going to be pretty much useless now. Probably saved us like 3 elixir or so on defense. Alright. And honestly, against RG, you can definitely go same lane as them. It doesn't really matter what lane you go. I know some of you guys were confused about like what lanes you want to go with Hog EQ, but I would just say like in general it's better to go opposite lane in most matchups, but against RG, I guess opposite lane is a little bit better, but honestly it doesn't matter too much. The only reason opposite lane is a bit better is that so you don't have like as high of a chance of giving them lightning value on your queen and stuff like that. I'm assuming he does have lightning, but he could have fireball. If he does have fireball, it's going to be a lot easier, but just going to expect the worst and not try to give him any value here. Also, bomb tower is really nice against RG, because even though you can't like pre-place it as easily as a Tesla or something, it always survives like 4 RG shots usually, so always is just really reliable at countering the RG. And the nice thing about it is that it also does splash damage, so it often like will slowly chip away at like a queen behind the RG or like whatever else there is, or even if they make like a double RG push, you can still defend it really well with bomb towers. So even though they're like harder to cycle more of sometimes just because they don't like have the hidden ability like the hidden Tesla, it still does work really well. And yeah, he's gonna have lightning here, so good thing we didn't give him too much value earlier on anything, but even with that lightning, he's still gonna be at a pretty big disadvantage so far. And I'm just gonna go with the Knight Hog Rider here, because I have a Knight tanking in the right lane, so if he wants to go for a Fisherman, it's gonna kind of get blocked, and he's gonna go with the Hunter instead. Hunter did get a buff as well, probably gonna help the RG players out quite a bit, because they did always used to run Hunter in the deck, but honestly, Hunter is a decent counter to Hog Rider, but it's not like the best counter, because like if you snowball a Hunter and you have like a Hog down, the Hunter will just allow the Hog to get like a crazy amount of damage, so not really worried about if Hunter becomes meta. And I know Mini Pekka got a buff as well, so that could be a bit more interesting. Mini Pekka is a bit more annoying for Hog decks, because you do have to like, I don't know, be a lot more careful with your Hogs, because like they always will just get like 0 damage and give the opponent a pretty good counter push. So Mini Pekka could be a bit more annoying, but it did get a pretty small buff, I think. I'm not sure how good Hunter is now in comparison to how broken it was at one point, but I feel like it's probably almost back to its original state when it was like super OP, so could be a pretty good card. I think they actually may have like changed something else about the Hunter, though. I'm not sure if they changed like the attack speed or if they changed the first attack speed. I didn't really pay attention, but either way it is still probably a pretty good buff to Hunter. And this guy keeps on wasting Fishermen, so just gonna go in with another Hog. He will deny all damage with the Hunter plus log, but he's always having to waste that log that he could be using to chip down our tower, so always a fine elixir trade with me. I'm gonna be a little bit more careful with the queens at the bridge. Honestly, Ghost is pretty good against Queen, because they can just use it really early, and then it'll just kind of like force out the early ability, and then it just will go invisible and you know, kill the Queen. I mean, it won't kill the Queen, but then it'll just like come back to kill the Queen after the ability is over, so I don't really want to be too aggressive with the queens at the bridge. I feel like Queen at the bridge is a lot better against the other versions of RG without like a Ghost or anything, but Yeah, really clean defense here. Honestly, Bomb Tower kind of just carrying. Even though Valkyrie is nice to have against the RG, I feel like when you have Knight plus Bomb Tower, it works just as well, so that's going to be GG. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy. I know I faced this guy a lot, but this time we really are facing this guy. Alright, so he is probably going to be playing Lava here. I know this guy does main Lava. Gonna be honestly like a bit of a difficult matchup. Normally most people think that Queen is better against Lava than Firecracker, but I don't know, honestly, because like when you don't have the Tesla in there either, it does get a bit tricky against Lava. Because they can kind of just like abuse their minions and Inferno Dragon behind the Lava, then you have to waste like the Queen on it, and then if you waste the Queen, they kind of still can wreck you a little bit, and the balloon will just like destroy you, so yeah. But it'll be interesting to see if the Bomb Tower gets a bit more value than normal because of the balloon nerf. Alright, so we're going to take most of his tower here. I'm not sure if we can actually defend though. Gonna Queen here. I guess Fire Spirit will get good value. But yeah, this guy's actually running the version with arrows in it. I'm just gonna call the early GG. I don't think it's game over yet, but I just like feel like doing that, so gonna do it anyways. And yeah, he did take like a lot of... I mean, he just took our tower there, but we do still have a decent chance. We did take most of his tower, but it's definitely a kind of bad situation. Because he does have guards, and guards are just such a good defense to hog, because you can't really break through unless you just overspend a crazy amount. And I'm actually going to hog in the left lane here, because I know if we hog in the right lane, he's just going to ignore it, and it won't really apply any pressure on him, so that's why I decided to go with hog in that lane. But we definitely do have to make sure to finish off his tower, because he might try to like keep it alive with just a few HP or something. And I'm going to Knight in the other lane here. We don't really have any other defensive units besides like Archer Queen and Bomb Tower, so there's no need to like save more elixir for other stuff if we can't even really use it. And even though Queen is such a OP card, the one disadvantage is the fact that it just like you can't like stack them at all like a Musketeer, so you don't get the same value in all of the matchups, but it is still really good. And Musketeer did actually get a buff, so could actually be decent with Hog again, but I'm not too sure on that, because I know, I don't know, I feel like Musketeer's like a bit less versatile just because it doesn't get any value on offense compared to an Archer Queen, but it does do super good on defense. Okay, so we're looking actually pretty good here. Fire Spirit probably going to carry, but this is going to be a little bit close. And yeah, you can see the Loon nerf there, like the Loon would have one-shotted that Bomb Tower at that point normally, but just because of the Loon nerf it wasn't able to, so you can see it in effect right there. Alright, so he's probably gonna Lava in the pocket pretty soon. Yeah, he's gonna go with it. We might have to get like an Archer Queen in the pocket, because I don't think we can cycle to another another Hog Rider in time, and okay, Archer Queen gonna get the shots in just in time before he had like enough for a tombstone, so that's gonna be GG. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're gonna be facing this guy here, and I'm pretty sure he mains Mortar, so should be a pretty good matchup here. You do have to watch out sometimes because of the Archer Queen, but besides that, it's usually pretty easy. And for some reason, he does have a baby dragon here, so probably gonna be some beatdown deck or something. Could be graveyard even. Okay, so he does have Knight, so probably going to be Graveyard, which is going to be a really difficult matchup. But he does go with the late NATO there, so we are going to get one Hog hit. And by the way, guys, I know I'm calling early GG a lot like in most of these games, but I kind of just do it just so that my opponents already feel like they won it, and they kind of play a bit worse after that, I feel like, and then I usually... well, I don't usually end up winning, but I do often end up winning, so... no reason not to do it, I guess. I guess some of them do get a bit annoyed at it, but hey, gotta do what you gotta do. And he is gonna have Queen as well in his graveyard deck. Not really sure how I feel about that compared to like an Ice Wizard, but not too worried about it, I feel like. But yeah, I mean, Queen's gonna be really nice for us here in this matchup too. That's why I still kind of like the Queen over the Firecracker, because it allows you to like easily snipe the baby dragons and still have like a bit of offensive pressure with the Queen, and yeah, just really nice to play the queen high up, whereas if you play like a firecracker high up to avoid like spell value, it kind of just gets destroyed and like pushes itself around everywhere, so yeah. I mean, it was easier to play firecracker against this splash yard deck when fireball was meta in it, but now that poison's back in graveyard, it's not quite as good. And we're actually gonna go with the high bomb tower here, but he does block it with the knight, so gonna be a bit of a waste. But we are gonna get our own queen off here. I notice like a lot of the time people just like end up countering the enemy queen with like a knight or something every time, but like if you have to save your knight or like you used your knight for something else, it's also very good to just counter the opponent's queen with your own queen. But yeah, we are still ahead in damage a little bit, but he is kind of getting some control on the field, so I am a little bit worried here, but at least our queen is giving us a bit of control back. And he's gonna kind of start stacking stuff, but because of the invisibility, the queen is just gonna destroy the majority of his push, and since he spent a lot, I don't even think he has enough for poison right away, so should be a pretty easy defense. The one annoying thing about facing poison when you're playing Hog is that like your skeletons are one of the better counters against the graveyard. Like skeletons plus EQ can pretty much fully counter it, but when they have poison, it kind of just like will instantly kill them, so it makes them a little bit worse. But yeah, I'm gonna bomb tower high again. Unfortunately, he does catch it, but honestly, I'm not like too worried. I know it seems like a bit of a bad play, but the death bomb is still gonna chip away at the stuff, and it is gonna kill the majority of his knight, so still looking just fine for us here. And I did go with a low queen, giving him the poison value, but I kind of just wanted to make sure his graveyard didn't get too much damage, and it looks like it did go pretty clean here on defense. And he's gonna actually go with a tombstone on defense. We do prediction EQ on it, so it's not really gonna stop it at all, and we're actually in a really good spot right now. Because once we do have the lead, he's not really going to come back very easily, because we can always just EQ his graveyards, get a couple EQs on offense, and then kind of just like stack high queens, so pretty good stuff for us here. He's going to get the late tombstone down, but shouldn't really matter too much. And I feel like his baby dragons have been pretty bad, because they're like way too high, so like whenever I like play something, whenever I play like the queen, like his baby dragon always walks in front because I make my queen go invisible, so it'd be a bit of a misplay by him here, but we are kind of wrecking him, so I'm not even sure if that would have mattered too much. We do have drop glitch on our Hog Rider, so I'm not going to go with it anymore. It's a bit too late to go for it. I'm just going to get an EQ off. I would usually recommend you save your EQs for defense, but like if you're in control of the game where you have like a queen down and stuff, it's usually fine to go in with the offensive EQ, especially if there's like I don't know, like if you're in a bit of an elixir lead or anything like that. I'm just gonna make sure his queen doesn't get any chip damage, because sometimes they do try to do a trick where they're like go with the queen ability, then like NATO your knight away, so always gonna be careful of that. And yeah, this is probably gonna be GG here against a pretty difficult matchup, but queen kind of just carries this matchup, so that's why I still do enjoy having queen over firecracker. That's gonna be GG. Alright, hopping in the next match here, we're going to be up against this guy, and he actually did get top 8 in CRL World Finals of 2021, so probably going to be a pretty good match here. Gonna see what he's using. I know he does like Miner a lot and Cycle decks, so could be Miner, could be a couple things still, could be even a Hog Mirror match, depending on what he decided to use on ladder. Okay, so it looks like it is going to be Miner. Honestly, Miner is pretty difficult, even though it's not like the hardest matchup like Lava or Splash Yard. It is pretty difficult just because they can like really consistently beat you. Even though they usually only beat you by like a few HP, they do almost always beat you if they play well enough, so gonna be a little bit annoying, but we're gonna see what we can do. But I feel like Queen does help a bit in these matchups as well, because it kind of just like gives you a possible way to break through. Like especially if they don't play perfectly, you can always like get a few queen shots on their tower, and it really helps you. And also like later in the game, you can just like queen opposite lane in the back, and then you can just like cycle a bunch of EQs really quickly, because the when you have like the champion down, it gives you the 3-card cycle, so really good for for chipping down your opponents with those EQs in late double elixir or early triple elixir, and also can allow you to outcycle them sometimes with your Hog Riders, because it kind of just like doesn't allow them to predict your cycle at all, or like prepare for your cycle, so you kind of just get them in awkward spots, which is really good for you. I'm just gonna Queen High here, not to give him any spell value, and unfortunately his Tesla does target my Queen. I wasn't really expecting it to shoot that far, but pretty okay for us still. And yeah, he's getting good minor chip, but we do have to just hope that we can get like a couple hog hits. We're not really gonna win through EQ cycle alone, but if we can somehow get like a lucky Hog Rider hit or a couple queen shots, that could be all it takes. So just gonna keep trying to break through here. Hopefully we can get him to like overspend on like a poison or something, and then maybe that could get us in a good spot. I do think we outcycled his Tesla, so we might be a little bit slow on it. We are gonna EQ in the wrong spot though on the Tesla. It is a bit of a mind game, like whether you think they'll go with it in the center or in a different place. And I could have actually went with the Queen ability there. I was a little bit slow, unfortunately, but pretty good spot for us here though, because he's always like getting to the Tesla like right after we're getting to the Hog Rider. So if we just keep this up, we might be able to get a lot of chip damage on him. So I'm just gonna keep trying to outcycle him here, and I am gonna block his Valkyrie at the bridge with the Knight, because I know he's gonna go with the minor, and he does go with it here. Yeah, if he has like a Valkyrie tanking for the minor, they're just gonna get so much damage, so don't want that to happen. And our Hog does score one really nice shot, so just gonna log as well, predicting his skeletons, and he doesn't actually have enough elixir for a Tesla, so that's probably gonna be GG. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye!